Doubles and coffee. PNM rushing to approve 250 million loan at 6.40% interest to pave roads all over this country, or to give out contracts, or to get financing, to try to keep up, to lift, to bring out of the depths of despair a flailing, flopping, failing campaign. Paving roads now, you the people, the mere fact that the PNM will still try that kind of 1956 strategy shows that they have no respect whatsoever for the intellect of the population, the advent of social media, facts, videos, every single citizen being informed and informing others of the position. The PNM coming to pave road while 17 days before an election. And they're going to borrow $250 million from who? Scotia Bank. Stuart Richard Young, where did your daddy work for 40 years? What bank was it again? Remind me now. Was it Scotia Bank? Did your daddy have a long-standing relationship with Scotia Bank? And to NIBTT, Miriam Abdul-Richards, the doctor who is a PNM super board member on 5 boards, you are saying that this road paving was approved, the financing was approved by cabinet months ago. Miriam Abdul-Richards, you could spin that for those who don't know. A cabinet will approve projects and approve loan financing, or how you're going to do it, whether you're going to take it from consolidated fund or borrowing, whenever. That's not the point. The point is, when is the actual loan approved, certified? When is the loan sheet signed off on, approved by the board, and ready for action? Miriam Abdul-Richards, you are a very dishonest human being. You said that was done a long time. So how come Miriam Abdul-Richards of COVID-19 fame, PNM National Awardee, the lady who looked good when the mask was on, talking, but aren't you on Angostura board, NIBTT board, 5 different boards, while also draws in a pay from the Eastern Regional Health Authority? But tell me this now, Miriam Abdul-Richards, Miss PNM superstar. How come I am reading from the board notes of a meeting held on the 27th day of March 2025? That's just a few days ago. 27th day of March 2025. Board members, Dr. Miriam Richards, Chairman, Director. Mr. Dominic Rampasad, Deputy Chairman, Director. Marilyn Gordon, oh, you're still doing things, boy? Director. Wendell Mitchell, Director. Teddy Stapleton, Director. Mark Hood, Director. Gichalji Gopi Singh, Director. And Derson Scott, Director. Now, Miriam Abdul-Richards, that board took a decision on the 27th of March 2025 to approve the loan financing agreement from the loan sheet, the guarantee, the approval from Scotia Bank on March 27th. So how are you talking about a long time ago? March 27th is just the other day. I also have a letter because it's the National Insurance Board who oversees NIBTT and so on. And National Insurance Board, aren't you all in a dire state that people's remuneration, pensions and programs and policies are at risk? That Colm Imbert said that we're in jeopardy of losing, and that you have to raise people increments of people, what they have to pay and so on, that people may lose all that they've contributed for. Isn't that the position of the NIB? And all you're rushing to take a loan from Scotia Bank on the eve of an election to pretend to MAMAGUY people about paving road for $250 million at 6.40%, $250,000 just so. $250 million. I going mad. $250 billion. This letter approving the loan terms, the interest from Scotia Bank to start to fling money out to contractors and to pave roads while all over this country. The last 3 weeks of an election is dated the 27th of March 2025. There was a flurry of activity on March 27th. It says, please be advised that NIBTT 250 million government guaranteed 6.4% non-revolving fixed rate loan to finance the program for upgrading road efficiency was approved by the board at its 584th meeting of the Board of Directors of the National Insurance Board of Trinidad and Tobago, NIBTT, held on March 27, 2025. Miriam Abdul Richards, months ago, years ago. No, that's right now, days ago. Right? Furthermore, to Vishnu Dan Paul, the man, Vishnu Dan Paul, you came back from Las Vegas. You like to gamble in Las Vegas? Yes or no? You are a permanent secretary espousing the policies of the PNM. Then you got a cushy job in London. Vishnu Dan Paul. You lucky that you so close to getting voted out that me I had time for you, Mr. Vishnu Dan Paul, because you know, and he'll know a lot about you. So Mr. Vishnu Dan Paul, you now swearing, and you gone to approve loan of $250 million guaranteed from Scotia Bank, and you was in charge of the so-called committee to evaluate bids for the people and them refinery, for the refinery of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and you were in charge and you were working hand in hand with a team from Scotia Bank. What is your obsession and your closeness to Scotia Bank? Do you know that Richard Young, daddy of Stuart Richard Young, the bully of CIC fame, is Scotia Bank and Rice? That he's at Scotia, his whole career was Scotia Bank. Don't you find the people should be asking a lot of questions? But Vishnu Dan Paul, you negotiated with Scotia Bank and you sent a letter to Mr. Randall Cesar, the General Manager, Corporate and Commercial Banking, Scotia Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited. You rush and send this. There, sir. Financing in the amount of $250 million on behalf of the National Insurance Company Limited to finance the program for upgrading road efficiency, that I hereby confirm in my capacity as Minister of Finance. You ain't even get a swearing as a senator, but you writing and signing a letter to behold this country, the taxpayers, to pay off $250 million 3 weeks before an election at 6.4%. You is what they call bold-faced. You brass-faced boy Vishnu Dan Paul. The government of Trinidad and Tobago, the loan, it's approved. I also confirm that the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago agreed to approve the funding in the sum of $250 million through a 5-year non-revolving fixed rate loan with Scotia Bank, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, and that it will be fully guaranteed in accordance with the Guarantee of Loans Companies Act Chapter 7182. This letter represents an explicit, irrevocable and unconditional commitment by the government to guarantee the loan from Scotia Bank to go and rush and pave roads all over this country, roads that have been dilapidated, crumbling and crushing, busting people tire, motorbike man dying for 5 years. And PNM coming now to tell you, population, we know you're dotish, we know you're stupid. Look, your road smooth. Vote for PNM, vote for corruption, vote for Stuart Richard Young, the biggest dunce to ever swear in as a selected prime minister in the history of the Caribbean. Pray and vote for Dragon Gas dead. Vote for no jobs. Vote for high crime. Vote for state of emergency, yet murders going on. Vote for extortion. Vote for PNM for home invasion. That's what they think that people are going to do because they rush to pave road and they get contractors get money to buy jersey. They can't even print the jersey because the people, the all-in jersey, they're not even using all-in again because the people all out on the PNM. When PNM has spent $650 billion and the entire campaign is disjointed, they can't tell you what they did. They can't boast about anything. Imagine the campaign is, I am Stuart Richard Young. I was the Gary Sobers of Keith Christopher Rowley. Keith Christopher Rowley kept me by his side anywhere he went. If he flew, I sat next to him. If he in cabinet, I sat next to him. He put me in charge of the F&GP. He made me a super minister. I negotiated deals across the globe with Keith Christopher Rowley. If Keith Christopher Rowley went on the golf course, I carried his bag. If he went in the toilet, I wiped his butt. I am Stuart Richard Young. But now that Keith Christopher Rowley has breached all democratic principles of the PNM, rejected the PNM constitution, disrespected the membership of the PNM, to hoist me and foist me on top of the PNM, I am telling you that it's time for change. The country needs change from Stuart Richard Young and Keith Rowley. And now we must only have Stuart Richard Young. I am the change that you need. I am the man who knows the solutions to the problems that I created. That is the campaign of the PNM. That is what they're coming to tell you. They have collapsed and now they're coming to trick you, to pave roads because they think you're dotish. Look, just because the PNM think all are we dotish, even PNM people, dance, take the money, take the drinks, eat the food, take the one piece and fries, and vote them out. Vote, especially in Port-au-Spain, St. Anne's. Vote out Stuart Richard Young. Save this country from that kind of dotish bully politician who use their elite politics, their elite position to be foisted upon you. They come with tricks. Imagine Plipdeco had to say, we have to try and make the government look good. Look good now? You're ugly for 5 years. You now want to put on weave and makeup and eyelash? You're ugly, PNM. The people don't want you. Come and buy tickets for PNM Fed to make it look like people went. That ain't working. You have no policies. You wasted the people money. You put us in debt. The country is in a mess. USA don't want anything to do with us. UK want us to pay for visa. People are fed up of the PNM. So all you could pave a road from now till the 28th. The people will reject you. And to those who now understanding how ridiculous the PNM are and how lowly they think of you, vote with a vengeance. Vote across from Matlot, straight across to Chaguaramas, down to La Brea and Point 14, across to Mayaro, and all through the middle. Reject the PNM nonsense. In this day and age, people can't get water, people road match up. You come in now before an election to take a loan. Board approved on the 25th, 27th of March. The bank approved the terms on the 25th of March 2025. Two boards meet on March 27th. All over the paid board members of the PNM rushing to approve $250 million to MAMAGUY people. Reject the PNM. That is fraud. That is lies. And after spending $650 billion, they can't tell you what good they did. They're telling you, oh Lord, we did bad. Stuart Richard Young is changed. He is going to change from himself. Stuart Richard Young is bipolar because the Stuart Richard Young you know is a failure. But for the 9.5 years, look at him in front of you now. Now he's successful. Now he's going to care about you. Now he has heart and empathy and sympathy. Stuart Richard Young showed you who he was for 9.5 years. Stuart Richard Young showed you at CIC College how and who he is for 33 years. Reject Stuart Richard Young. Reject the PNM out of hand. Reject the old politics of fake mamagism. Vote for truth. Vote for those who care. Vote for intelligence. Vote for merit. Bless. When UNC wins, everyone wins. Yellow is the code.